Hello, my emetophobics! This is a super simple, tried and tested CBT method to help reduce emetophobia and emetophobic thoughts. Also, a great one to help with relapses. This was one of the main things we focused on in my last CBT therapy, and honestly, it worked wonders. And here's why it's so easy. It's all to do with constant repetition. Specifically, the phrase, "I might be sick." If that immediately sends an anxiety jolt through you, no worries. Just notice the way that your body is reacting to the words. Notice the way you're feeling. If any body part is tensing, where the tension is, and see if you can sit with that feeling, even if it's uncomfortable. I'm going to be saying this phrase a handful of times in this video, but that's all. Nothing else emetophobia related. You're safe. Stay with me if you can, because this could really help you, or come back later. Just a quick note before I start chatting away. After hearing the phrase, "I might be sick," I want you to just note down from 0 to 10, 0 being no anxiety and 10 being the worst anxiety, what number you would put your anxiety at right at this moment. Alright? Fabulous. I will come back to this later. So the focus here is to repeat the phrase, "I might be sick," aloud as much as you possibly can for as long as you possibly can, until you get used to the words so much so that your anxious reaction fades. Or, more accurately, until you get bored of the words. And trust me, you will get bored of them very quickly. Why does this work? Chances are, if you have emetophobia, this is probably something that you are thinking a lot. And so, by repeating these words as much as possible, you get bored of the phrase, and thus take the power away from it. If your brain is saying to you, "I might be sick," when you've already heard it 1,000 times, your reaction is much more likely to be, "Yeah, and?" I would recommend beginning to say this phrase in your safe space, or a controlled environment. I would normally lay on my bedroom floor as I find that very relaxing. Say the words in your head to begin with, and when you feel ready, start to say them out loud, as quietly or as loudly as you want. Pay attention to your body as you do this. How is it reacting to the words? Where do you feel tension? If it feels uncomfortable, try and sit with that feeling, if you can. Take your time and only up the stages when you feel ready. We don't want to create anxiety here, so only ever do as much as you can handle. If you start to get triggered, stop and come back to it when you're ready. If you only want to say it once and then stop for the day, great. Don't push yourself. But the beauty of it is that the more you say, "I might be sick," the quicker it will take effect. And it works so quickly, you will honestly be surprised. The great thing about this is that when you get bored of saying the words, I'd give it a week at the most, possibly less. You could then move it up a level. If you're finding it difficult to eat, you can apply the phrase during or after you've eaten. Again, changing it up this way might bring on your anxiety. So only do as much as you can handle and just gradually build it up. Personally, I would recommend repeating the phrase after you eat, as I found that mentally saying it during put me off my food a little. And again, as you say the phrase, really pay attention to the effect it has on your body. Having anxiety whilst you're outside? Go for a small walk and repeat the words. You may just want to stand outside the front door to begin with and say the words. Then, when you get used to them, maybe walk to the end of your street and repeat them, etc. It's great. You can apply it to any aspect of your life where emetophobic thoughts are intervening. The reason I say it's also a good one for relapses is that it puts you back on the right track and builds you back up. I also say this from personal experience. If you fancy it, another CBT tip, I'd recommend just jotting down scale numbers for your anxiety levels before, during and after repetition sessions. From 1 to 10, write the number that your anxiety is at before you start repeating the words, and then once completed, a number for how you felt during and how you're feeling now. This is essentially an extra brain booster because what you're doing is showing your brain that this is working. You have literal proof in front of you that you can get better. This means that if you ever end up having a relapse, or you just need a little pick-me-up, you can look back over your scores and think, I got myself better before, and I can do it again. Isn't that great? I've actually still got a record from doing this, so here are my numbers in the first week of beginning to repeat the phrase, "I might be sick." I know! This is how quickly it helped! Alright, before I end the video, do you remember what your anxiety score was from the beginning? So let's do another number. From 1 to 10, what would you put your anxiety at right now? Right this second. Is this second number higher than the first or lower? The reason I'm asking is that I've said the phrase "I might be sick" a few times now, and if you haven't already guessed it, I've actually done this on purpose. By hearing this phrase repeated a few times, I'm actually wondering if you've already started getting used to it. Has your second anxiety number gone down? If your second number was higher and your anxiety has gone up whilst hearing the phrase, no worries. If you need to calm down, pop over to my intrusive thought relief video or check out my calm playlist. It's what they're there for. But I bet if you watch this video again, your numbers will go down, purely because you will know what to expect. Jot down your numbers in the comment section if you fancy it. Good or bad, I'd be really interested to know what sort of effect this video had. Keep it up, my emetophobics. I hope this helps.